You all have a chance to look at the annual report too, as well. If you guys have any questions or comments, concerns about that, anything like that? Pretty self-explanatory. I think it's pretty good. It's really helped a lot on that too. I think it was a good report. We actually got a lot done last year, so I'm pretty proud of that. So no questions on that. Captain Good, you want to talk about the sheet, the new sheet?
Yeah, Chief Zach has been with us. This is his second week, and he did plan on coming tonight to CPAC, but unfortunately he had to slide back to Buffalo to take care of some personal business and wrap up his move to Asheville. And I think the plan is for our next CPAC meeting, try to get him where he is here and to be able to meet the group and introduce himself formally to you guys.
Thank you, Captain. Y'all have any questions about that at all?
Thank you.
And then Julie provided a lot of information. Captain, do you want to speak about anything like the Citizens Police Academy or the Junior Police Academy or anything like that?
So our Citizens Police Academy, and we've talked about this several times, but our next Citizens Police Academy is a 12-week, 13-week program. We normally do it on Thursdays. It's from 6 to 9. We have food for those that are coming to participate. Food starts around 5:30. But it's an in-depth look at the police department. We talk about various divisions and departments and districts, what the department does, what the department doesn't do. But it kind of is an eye-opening experience for a lot of people that want to learn more about the agency. We are taking applications at this time, and I think Julie has shared that with the CPAC members. And if there's anybody in the community that wants information on it, they can reach out to the police department. We'd be glad to get them an application. And then also, we did this many years back, a Junior Citizens Police Academy. We'll be starting that this year. We're kicking that back off again. And instead of doing that on consecutive or continuous weeks, we're setting that up in a format where it'd be like a week long, Monday through Friday, set hours. And our crime prevention unit runs both those programs, and so we would be glad for encourage anybody in the community that would like to attend each one of those to let us know. And we appreciate pushing that out into the community.
Kat, do we have the dates for that?
Julie passed it. I don't have it written right in front of me. Do you have it in the package, Julie?
Not.
The junior one, I think, is, I want to say it's in June. I might be wrong on that.
Okay.
Begins March 30th and ends April 11th.
That's for the Citizens Police Academy, right?
Oh, that's for junior. And the citizens starts March 5th.
Mark, citizens.
It's on the email.
Okay.
Well, we can definitely get that
That's
pushed
in your-
back
it's
out
in your
again.
packet, too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate that. Yeah, Julie's done a lot of information on y'all too. She didn't print it out as a paper, but there's also information about the racial equity training history. I went through both of those. The city provides that for free, so I encourage all y'all to do that if you haven't already. It's a really good program. And then there is the Black History film series as well. I think Julie, you sent that email out too. I think it's like a series of films as well, so that's a good benefit to the community. And then an interesting, really cool thing we got passed. I think it just got passed City Council on February 11th. It's going to be adopted, honestly. Excuse me. Is that right? The resolution for the stipend.
As of last night.
So as of last night. So perfect, y'all. So that was the travel stipend that we talked about, and then Keith was, brought it to boards and commissions, but it got passed. So it's a very cool thing. So all the members of all the boards and commissions will be able to get a travel stipend to help, for a travel costs and stuff like that. So that came from here. It was pretty cool. So City Council adopted that yesterday. Good there. Let's see.
Mr. Chair, if I could clarify one
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely, sure.
So on the Junior Academy, I spoke of how we did it before. We did it before, it was Monday through Friday. This time, we're doing a little bit different, and it does start March 30th, end April 11th. But we've got it set up for various times, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday evening, and then there's a couple Saturdays also, as the way it's set up. But we definitely would encourage anybody that's interested to reach out to us and get more information.
Thank you, Captain.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions about that, y'all? About the academies or anything like that? All good. That was the crime presentation. Thank you, sir.
To begin with, I wanted to review our APD jurisdictions. beginning of January 11th, we shifted to a new district breakdown. On the left, you see our previous APD, Adam, Baker, and Charlie. On the right, we have this additional David. In the west, Adam stays the same. Charlie, which was all north down to central, has been concentrated just to the central area around downtown, which also includes the River Arts District, South Prince Broad, and South Side. Baker picks up the North Asheville, and the beat has been, this beat 1 here, which is now Baker 1, has been reduced down to a smaller area based off of the number of calls for service we receive. Baker keeps the 2 in the east, and then we created a new southern district, David, which picks up the southern portion of the central region, which was used to be Charlie 4, and then you still have the 3 beats in the south. And all of this should help us reduce the response times, particularly in the south. The difficulty before with trying to get, if there's a serious incident, officers from the east down to the south takes a tremendous amount of time. The maps on Accurate still will be updated there. We've sent the polygons to the platform and we're waiting for them to update it. Beginning in West Asheville, it has been a violent start to 2020. Beginning here on the left map, this concentration here is around the Burton Street community from Fayetteville Street to Reagan Lane. There was 4 separate incidents of gun violence, one of which resulted in the death of Antoine Eddings on January 13th on Fayetteville Street. Another incident, a victim was wounded. In 2 other cases, the vehicles and residences were damaged. The highest concentration of violent crime outside of that region was Piscoview Apartments, 7 assaults in the complex, 1 of which a victim was shot in the head but survived. The 6 remaining were domestic, 4 of which targeted females. And then around that, in addition to that cluster, 3 additional assaults in the nearby residential area, all of which were domestic. To the second map, property crime, we've seen an increase in property crime around the outlet malls, mostly shoplifting, 13 incidents. We've also seen fraud, theft, motor vehicle beatings, and commercial burglary, 24 in all. And while it doesn't show a heavy concentration, this whole region is the East West Asheville Neighborhood Association of Awana. It's been hit the hardest, 30 crimes in all, 19 of which, or 63%, have targeted vehicles, 13 burglarized, 6 stolen. In addition to these, there's been burglary, theft, fraud, and shoplifting. It was mentioned previously, we want to discuss the proactive efforts the police have done. I'm going to cover every aspect that they've done in the whole district, but I will focus on where they concentrate their efforts. Obviously, in the Burton Street area, as a result of the gun violence, we have 83 hours of crime prevention and foot patrols. So just a broad umbrella, when I'm referring to crime prevention, I'm referring to crime prevention call for service, foot patrol, or bike patrol. We also have other calls like check residences, or check businesses, traffic enforcement, but for the purposes of this, I'm talking about those 3 call types. Another major area that we focused on is Haywood Road around the business corridor, 32 hours in all. Awana, because of the high concentration, that has 16.75 hours. In Piscoview, there's 59 hours, and in Beaverview, there was 34. In reference to the table, on the right, we've seen reductions in residential burglary, theft, and fraud compared to the previous month. We've seen increases in simple assaults, commercial burglary, and motor vehicle beatings. Moving on to the north, the highest concentration this last month was the Hillcrest Apartments with 8 incidents, 1 gun discharge between apartments, 5 assaults, 4 of which were violent domestics against females, 1 common law robbery, and while it's not in this reporting period, it's still worth mentioning, this month, on the 9th, there was another homicide, Jalen Morton killed on February 9th in Hillcrest Apartments. Property crime, you see the heavy concentration in the 5 Points area, the shallow north, just north of downtown. 25 incidents in all, mostly theft, 13. We still have 4 residential burglaries in this area and 5 vehicles targeted, 3 of which were stolen. In the last reporting period, we talked about the Grace neighborhood having a slight concentration. Still have some activity there, 8 in all. Residential burglary, theft, shoplifting, and fraud. As in terms of proactive policing, most of our efforts are down here in the shallow north, 18 hours, and then 14 hours in Hillcrest. As for the table, reductions in robbery of individuals and motor vehicle theft, increases in simple assaults, theft, and motor vehicle beatings. For Central Asheville, northern downtown has the highest concentration of violent crime. Here, 4 assaults in all between Lexington and Woodfin. There are varying types, assault on child, assault on females, 2 assaults on males, one of which was with a rock in the face. 2 armed robberies in the River Arts District, one of which a victim was struck in the head with a bottle, and the other, multiple knives were thrown at the victim, and arrest has been made in that case. And then further south in Erskine, you see 4 assaults on female, 1 by strangulation. Just outside the complex, there was an armed robbery that led to a gunshot wound. As for property crime around Patton Avenue and College, here we have 11 crimes, 4 shoplifting, 3 motor vehicle beatings, and theft and fraud. And this other concentration that extends from South French Broad over to Cox Ave, 10 crimes, 4 theft, 2 motor vehicle beatings, and then also fraud and shoplifting. And there's also a small patch of vehicular crime around the hospital. As far as proactive policing, downtown has received 163 hours, including bike patrols. And then down here around Livingston, Erskine, and Walton area, there's been 40 hours between the complexes. As far as the table, reductions in aggravated assaults and motor vehicle theft, increases in simple assaults and theft. For East Asheville, violent crime has been centered around the 125 Bleacher Boulevard, around where Walmart is in East Asheville. 4 assaults, mostly to do with ongoing property crime and 1 common law robbery. There was also an assault with a female at the Chuck E. Cheese and around the mall and the surrounding businesses. There was a sexual assault on a child, and a violent domestic that occurred at the mall. As for property crime, it continues to be from the southern South Tunnel Road down to Fairview Road. There were 90 crimes, 61 of which were shoplifting incidents, 6 theft, 8 vehicles targeted, only 1 of which was stolen, and 3 burglaries. This North Tunnel Road section only had 15 crimes, 2 of those were commercial burglary, 4 thefts, 2 vehicles targeted. And then near the VA hospital, further out east, there was 5 crimes, 2 of which were burglaries. Most of our efforts have been targeted around the South Tunnel Road area, 37.5 hours of crime prevention. And we've seen reductions in both types of assault, aggravated assault, theft, significant decline of 22, possibly as a result of the holiday season, and shoplifting and motor vehicle theft, slight increase in motor vehicle beatings, but an overall 18% decrease. And then finally in the south, violent crime is most heavily concentrated around the where Sweeten Creek meets Hendersonville Road. Here there's 5 assaults, 2 targeted females, 2 targeted children, and 1 targeted male. At the hot spot on Sweeten Creek, there was a male that that's further up north here, pulled a gun on a cashier after not having an ID. And then we had another armed robbery further south at the Ingles gas station. As far as property crime, Hendersonville Road hotspot just south of the Blue Ridge Parkway. This has been a persistent hotspot. 17 crimes, mostly shoplifting, 9. 3 vehicles were burglarized as well. And then Airport Road, 19 crimes. Most of those were theft and fraud, 7 each. Also the shoplifting and 2 vehicles targeted. And then this section, it doesn't show as heavy a concentration here, but it's that same section where we see the assaults. There was 4 commercial burglaries, 2 arrests have already been made in relation to that. As far as proactive policing, Hendersonville Road hotspot, that's just south of the Blue Ridge Parkway, has had 29 hours, and where that's Sweeten Creek and Hendersonville Road, there's been 7 hours. For the table, reductions in simple assault, theft, shoplifting, and vehicular crime, increases in commercial burglary and fraud. And that is it.
Thanks so much, Douglas. Does anyone have any questions for anybody today?
I know we used to get copies of the data. Are we still able to do that?
Due to the short period of time between retreat now, it's kind of hard to get everything done in time, so I will have that posted. I can email you guys your email and post it tomorrow.
Okay, all right, thank
As
you.
well as a link, you can do all that.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie. Any other questions? Okay, good. Thanks so much, Douglas. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the prevention stats, those were interesting.
all the community events to see which ones
Right.
we can go to. So I think we should start getting the ball rolling on that. Did Jerry and Michael, do you guys want to try to lead on that, just to get the calendar together, if that's okay, or should we all do that
If
together?
everyone can email me if you want, and I can put it together, I'm fine to do that.
Do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
great.
like all the different meetings and groups we're involved in, and I can kind of put together a calendar/list.
Yeah, so if y'all, any kind of groups or meetings that you think, there should be a CPAC presence, feel free to email Jerry. And then we kind of start getting the ball rolling on putting those together, and at least having, I think one of us should go to try, we should all kind of separate the duties of that, going to all the different meetings, so at least we all can see where the meetings are and see if we can go. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. And then mediation piece, we talked a good deal about this at the retreat. I think it's a great idea. And we talked about how to get all sides of the table. Josh had some really good information as far as the police side of things. So I want to get the city attorney here on the next meeting so we can talk to him about specifically what we can or cannot do. Julie, I think we discussed having a meeting with the city attorney, maybe Captain Gudak too, and then Kathy, the head of IA as well, about kind of the first steps on the mediation side of things to see what we legally can or cannot do. Does that sound about right?
And probably I would encourage us to probably include Chief Zach in that.
That'd be
also.
great. Yeah, that'd be great. So as soon as we can have that meeting, that'd be awesome. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, just so we get the ball rolling on that.
May I just ask if that's a commitment to having the city attorney here next time or not? This has gone on for months.
I understand that.
I apologize for speaking out.
That's
but
fine.
this is
I plan, yes, my goal is to have him here for the next meeting. That's correct.
But we don't have it scheduled to.
I understand.
Yeah, but that's the goal.
This is a rolling issue, and I think it's
I
time that
understand
we be
Thank you, Carol.
committed.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Sure.
If it sounds like Chief Zach's already hopefully planning on coming next month too, if the IA person is available, like if they need to be in conversation, if they could come to the meeting too, just have like all parties that
All parties involved.
might be able to answer questions and just be helpful in the process. Like if they're available, we may as well extend an invitation to try to just have everybody at the table at once here at the meeting.
And that makes sense. I plan on the meeting, hopefully that we have, and we can talk about it there. That's a good idea. Any other comments, concerns about that side of things? All good on that?
And if they can't all come to the meeting, so we'll just meet like less than 1, so we can kind of get everybody in the room.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea too. Absolutely. So, did you guys see I think you sent the MOU out with HRCF. Did you email that to everyone? Just the draft?
That was part of all the documents from
Okay.
from our retreat.
Thank you. So we have, I did bring just one copy. So it's the draft of the I'm just really tired of you, I'm sorry. The memorandum of understanding, kind of how we're gonna work with HRCA. It is a really just early draft of it. I think we went over a little bit at the retreat, the 25th. It's still very early. My understanding is with HRCA, they're gonna have another meeting next Thursday. I encourage all y'all to go. I'm gonna be there as well. They're gonna discuss more about this. I think they're gonna try to have a final vote on this, I believe, on the March meeting that they have. So my goal is, I think we talked to the retreat about kind of having that mediation piece kind of more figured out, flushed out. And that will kind of help delineate the relationship between us and HRCA. Yes, sir.
I'd like to speak on that subject.
Yeah, feel free, yeah. If you want to introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Davidson Jones. At one time, I was on this committee, like Michael there, I was 394, living 6 years old. In 1994, he voted using his badge in office. My employee now is a deputy sheriff in McDowell County, so he's my employee side. I like what I see here. I'm going to vote for Keith. I'm going to vote for him, you can say I'm Sullivan, I'm going to vote for Keith. Keith is also a liaison for HRCA. HRCA with no conceit was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. If you vote, collaborate with them, why does voter I would vote no? Absolutely not. It's no conceit, it's dysfunctional. I'm not speaking for Pastor, I'm speaking for myself. It's so conceived, total lead dysfunctional, from the top to the bottom. And the world knows that, from the top to the bottom. Inclusive equity was still conceded, okay? Leadership is probably a lame duck right now. Don't mix your stuff with that stuff. I'm thinking you're nice. Now, I went on record, I wrote Keith, he won't respond to me. I talked to Deborah, and this is what I told him. If it gets too far ahead, I'm personally going before the city council and ask them to stop the madness. I put both of them on notice, and I told them I don't want to blindside them politically, but as a citizen, I'm compelled to do that. Whatever you got, keep it. Don't mix it up with something that's ill conceived, that should not exist if you ask me. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's still in the early stages, y'all. So I'll be at that meeting next Thursday. I encourage y'all to be there too. I think it's 5:30 next Thursday, the first floor of City Hall. We'll get rolling on that. And then, y'all any comments, concerns about that or anything at this point?
Well, I want to say something.
Yes, Michael.
That's not the first time I've actually heard that sentiment. So I would, I guess we do need to, if we're going to go as a group, to go find out what's going on. And I know we had the one representative at the retreat, which you got some great information from.
Absolutely,
And
Tanya. Yeah.
Carl asked, some great questions. So I think it's imperative for us to, if we're gonna like look into this MOU.
Sure.
Let's see what's working, how it's working, and I think what we did at the retreat was like really try to set some sound ideas about the work we're gonna focus on. Yeah. And then, and Carl made a great point when he said that, our mission is to, we already have what our mission is, and if we focus on what our mission is and do our work, then is that really needed? Is that connection really needed? Is that partnership needed?
I think it's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point. I think what it comes down to is we all can make this decision together. You
Right.
guys just set the kind of paces in play just to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I encourage y'all to go to the meetings to see how they operate as well. Because we probably will need to have a vote on this all together collectively to
Okay.
see how we kind of want to transpire.
And you said next Thursday at 5:30?
Yeah, next Thursday at 5:30. City Hall, first floor. But yeah, that's a great point, Michael. So I think, again, we all have agreed to do this together as a board. So we definitely need to think about things as well. But I think we're gonna have to have a vote in the next couple meetings to see if we're gonna go through with it or not, to be honest with you. But I think on what Michael said, kind of focusing our mission, which is goals, and we just don't have the mechanism to do that. So I think we set good groundwork for developing that mediation framework and meetings with the police, having the city attorney here. I think it's actually creating good footwork to set those stages in motion. But I think it's a good point, it's a valid point that if we focus on our mission, then things should be smooth as well. So I think it's valid.
But I remember specifically Keith saying that if we weren't joined up with HRCA, that we would be dissolved.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think he said that HRC has kind of like the initial,
Yeah.
and then if they kind of don't do anything with it, then it's thrown back to city council, is my understanding.
Yeah, and I think it would be a shame for the citizens of our town not to have any kind of mediation representation
I agree.
from a human relations
Mhm.
commission, who, if I'm not mistaken, started the whole written consent
Mhm.
bandwagon.
Mhm.
So I think it would behoove us to definitely go to the meeting
Yeah.
and see what's what
I agree.
and
So-
where we still stand.
Mhm. We kind of have two different thoughts right now, so I
Yeah.
think it's good though, it's good. So we have some things to think about on that. Yeah, I definitely encourage y'all to go to meetings. So it's next Thursday at 5:30. I can send an email about that as well to follow up with that. Happy to do that. And then discussing the this year's CPAC meetings and community meetings, I kind of wanted to focus on, I think Julie gave us a little chart of the tentative meeting. So I think at the retreat, we kind of talked about not having a community meeting until like July, to be honest with you. And I think the reason for that is we can kind of focus on what we need to do substantively, and then we can go and hopefully by July
Well, one of the things is that I think it's great that we have community meetings. However, they've been poorly attended would be generous. And I don't know if that's just the nature of there's nothing on the table to discuss, so therefore there's no interest in attending or taking the time to do it. And then, but if there were something to discuss of interest to the community, whatever, then they will show up. So I don't have a solution. I'm presenting just my thoughts. So if we're going to have community meetings, somehow it would be, I don't know, all we can do is advertise it and make people know, but we certainly can't, bring them over and force them to attend. Or we could have donuts and get them to come because of that. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, so that's my thought.
I think the awareness, there are so many people that are very interested in these meetings, and raising awareness, which, I'm really gonna step up the game to doing, because we're all in this together.
Yeah, we need to, I agree.
We need to do that, but the community is waiting to see, what's gonna happen with, the new chief, Zach, and everything, which is totally understandable, considering our recent history. So just, I would say at least still have a meeting before then.
What would you think you want? If you had to forecast it, what do you think that should be? I just want something.
I would say at least April.
April, you think it?
Yeah.
I think April.
If
What do y'all think about it?
if we choose to, go that route of having one in June, whichever way, I just think we just need to be intentional in our approach, and regardless of attendance, just be able to provide something substantive to the public if they show up. So, I mean, if that takes us, not meeting in between to be able to do that, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Or if we need to have one in between, but I just think we just need to be intentional in our part of it, and so, at that point, we've done our due diligence. So.
You think that? Yeah.
It doesn't take a event or some type of, police versus, the citizens for us to act, because the citizens have to have something to say. And I think we're intentional about the meetings, and we understand that a lot of people might want to vent. Let's get an opportunity to vent. I don't think it should be like, okay, you have just a certain amount of time. There are issues that the community want to discuss that we need to be aware of, to let the community bring those issues to the table. And when we market this, market as this is your opportunity to make CPAC aware of the issues that you're dealing with. You think them people in Hillcrest aren't dealing with issues when you got people that don't live over there having shootouts? Those are issues. You think it's not an issue when you have children being at a young age being, I hate to use the word criminalized, but getting criminal records in the 5th and 6th grade because of their actions at school? Those are issues. Those are the citizens. We are supposed to be there between the citizens and the police. Those are issues. So it's always an issue, even if we make it an open forum. But they'll come and they will talk because there is interest in somebody listening to them. They want to be heard. We want to be heard. I'm a citizen too.
I want to echo what Michael mentioned about it being more about a town forum versus a
Like an actual structured meeting?
Because I think the protocols of a standard meeting limit the amount of time to speak, and we haven't been real good at honoring sort of protocols with individuals sharing throughout the meeting, and I think it'd be easier to just sort of, if we give that platform for them to share openly and for us to really listen and not necessarily be there to respond, then that influences how our future meetings may impact the agendas.
And then we let them know we'll be back. Okay, we're going to take in what you're saying. We're going to sit down at our meeting. We do what we do. And then we go back with some answers. If we can't answer, we just, or information. Yeah. What about, you think that's a good idea, Jerry?
Yeah, I very much agree with the town hall format. I feel like it just creates a much better place for people to be heard and really feel heard, because I think some of the formal stuff can kind of create barriers to that sometimes. And we don't really have to respond like you're saying. It gives us time to think about and things to talk about in other meetings. And I think just giving people a place to be heard, like you're saying, might also eventually increase attendance once people kind of realize that that's what's going on. I would say, I think if we want to have the chief, the city attorney, and all these folks here to get some questions answered next month, and there's then some sort of potential vote or conversation about what the deal is with our relationship with HRCA, it does seem like there's quite a bit of stuff to do in March and April, but I think like May is a realistic time to maybe plan, and that also gives us time to like arrange with a community space to set up the logistics of it. But I think, yeah, getting into the community sooner rather than later is also part of our mission.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's very good. You know, so I think May is a good time. What do you guys think? Like May is a good time to do that? What are your thoughts on that? Just have a town hall, like not do, like pretty much throw the agenda out the window. They just do like a town hall. You know what I mean? Like we have quorum and everything like that, but I guess.
I add a little bit to that.
Sure.
First of all, if we're gonna look at doing the calendar with the events, reporting back, that might take you guys in the community more on that end and see how that goes. And also, don't forget about the bottom, how we have that last line on there, so we could make that, but we can't answer it directly, so we can always talk about how we follow at the end of our agendas now.
No, it's true, but I do like the town hall though. I think we should just pretty much take one meeting where you throw the agenda out the window and just have people come and talk to us, like what is going on, and take the structure out of it. I agree with that. Just let me just throw it away for one day. And I think that's a great idea, is to have people come in, feel free, there's no kind of formalization or anything, just come talk to us. So I'm on board with that personally. I like that idea a lot. Do you guys think May is a good time to do that? Like time-wise, I think Jared had a good point about, because we have a lot of stuff in the next couple months. But I'm thinking May might be a good time to do that. What are your thoughts on that?
I like May.
You like May? Yes, sir, you have a question? Sure. Sure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I don't know if we should vote on this yet. Like, what do you guys think? Should we table it to vote, like, for next time and put it into April? Like, I mean, maybe you want to vote on it now? Like, what do you all think?
Let's vote on it now.
Vote on
I'm
it,
good
yeah.
with it. So, can I get a motion to vote to have a community town hall meeting in May? Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the town hall meeting in May, say aye. Perfect. It's a great idea, very excited.
Do we want to talk now about like what neighborhood we want to do that in, or a location, or do we want to talk about that next month?
Now, we can talk about that now. I'm happy
Throwing
to.
it out there while we're on the
Yeah,
subject.
no, that's a good idea. Do you guys have any, I don't really personally care, to be honest with you. Do you have any thoughts on that, Michael? Like, what are you thinking?
I mean, let's go by the, what is the crime review stats?
Okay.
And, you know, where since we like to like put those up there, let's
Might as well use them, right?
focus on the areas where we see, you know, the higher numbers of crime, I guess, and, you know, give those citizens around those areas an opportunity to speak.
Sure.
Would that set us up to have, be a moving town hall and be, you know, like targeting different parts of the city, or?
Yeah.
Would it be one central location where everybody's
No, I
familiar
think we
with
should
it?
target, I think we should go to where the issues are. So I think that it should be a moving town hall, yeah.
So, and for this first one, would you see it as the first of several?
Yes.
How would you view it?
I view it as the first of several.
All right, how many do you think would be, in your guesstimate, would be needed to accomplish this goal, like 3?
So the biggest part is we only have 12 months of the year. So we only meet 12 times a year. That's the biggest obstacle, because right now, I guarantee if we were to say we're gonna have a town hall meeting next week in Hillcrest, and we're gonna give you an opportunity to, I guarantee you we will have at least 30 people there, because they are ready to give, when, Brother Robert, you were there, the Safety and Justice House meeting. Were that many people expected at that actual meeting? But it was an awesome meeting, was it not?
It was.
And the citizens spoke because they had an opportunity to be heard, and the way they facilitated the meeting, you know, I love the way they did it, but they gave them opportunity to speak, and that they want to be heard. And we're CPAC, people already know we exist, but we're just not being seen. So it would be hard to do, like, okay, we go one place in 1 month, and then we're back here the next month. So we start in May, and that means we're back here in June, then we go somewhere else in July, you know, so, but we gotta get out there. I don't know, from what I see, it's gonna take like 6, 7 meetings, but you know, that's pretty much impossible. Because we have to gather the information, dissect the information, and then I think us going back to see the citizens, or somebody from this committee, we should go back to the citizens and speak to the citizens, so.
My suggestion is we start central and we use the time between now and May to attend meetings that are regional, to start collecting information and to start advertising. And if we have 3 months to say this is happening, there should be no reason why we don't have a full house. And that's on us if we don't have a full house.
That's a good idea.
So I say we have the space, we open it up, and if we're setting a date as far away as May, a lot can happen between now and May. And in the wrong kind of way, but
Right.
maybe.
But if you look at those who are most affected, this is my biggest concern. If you look at the ones who are most affected by what's going on, them trying to travel to a place at 5:30, that's, you know, we're talking about catching the bus, we're talking about a lot getting off work, we're talking about, you know, the kids coming home from school, after school? Yeah, after school, and you getting settled in, so, you know, we have to look at it as a whole. The ones who are most affected are the ones who are the most impoverished. So how are they gonna get, you know, come somewhere? That's why I said it's more productive if we go to them.
Sure, well, and I think we have to start somewhere. I'm just saying, let's start with Central.
Oh, okay. I'll start with the central, okay.
Central district.
Sorry, yeah.
Central district, I got you.
And honestly, I mean, I think the other issue is those affected today can't wait till May. And so that's my only thing is, I mean, May is, a lot can happen between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I understand we need time to get our ducks in a row, but if I'm hurting today, for me to have a voice 3 months from now, you're not really hearing me.
Very good point.
That's right. So you're saying, yeah.
If Vegas is run where the priorities should be set, you've got Vegas, the 80/20 rules of apply, where you go first. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's actually a good point to start out with. I think you had a good point, Jeremy, about going to community meetings and like starting to set the stage for that kind of thing. No, I think based on the schedule, I think May might be the best time because we have so many other things we're working on. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thinking. So I don't know if we have the exact place ready. I mean, do you want to wait to vote next time on the place to do it, or do you want to vote on that? I just don't know where to do that yet. Is the issue. You know what I mean?
That was a great point, man. I mean, I think if we can vote on the place now, and we talk to Central, we have Brother Robert here who works with housing.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he can talk to, is Tanya still over there?
So you proposing Hillcrest first?
I am. That's where the latest incident happened. People are traumatized. You know, they don't have a place to talk about it, just keep shoving it down until something else blows up, and then you know.
I don't see why not, so we can look at that.
That's fine. I mean, I'm good with Hillcrest. That's good. I mean, do you guys have any other issues with that, or are you good with that?
That'd be
I mean,
great.
tentatively, we can do it there, Robert. We can check on that. I appreciate that. So can I get a motion to hold a meeting at Hillcrest for the town hall meeting?
Motion of.
I
I'll
guess-
move, I'll second you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Is it possible not to get hung up on the CPAC schedule of dates, and when Robert finds a date in that time frame that works for the space in Hillcrest,
Here we go.
to be committed to going?
That might be hard for me because I'm in and out of town a lot, but I will try my best. I know.
I mean, I think, Robert, if you can just get the availabilities, I think we can talk more about that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
problem.
okay with you.
So, just so I'm clear, so we're talking about, are we still talking about May?
I think we're talking about May
We're
still.
talking about May,
I
okay.
mean, we voted on that.
So just any,
No, I thought we was talking, it's,
We just voted on that.
did we? I thought we, okay, is that what we just voted on? Okay, I'm tripping.
It's okay.
I thought you said like we get, I like the fact that you said we waiting 3 months.
Right.
That's a long, that's a long time out.
I suggested April to be able to talk to the city attorneys and everything and just go right into it.
It's fine, you wanna vote again and change it to April? That, we can't do it like tomorrow, it's an issue.
Nah, but I like April. I like
But
sooner.
If you're good with April, I mean, I'm happy to change it, if you guys are fine with that. Does that give you enough time, Robert, to think?
yeah, I mean, that's,
Is that fine with you?
yeah, whatever ideal date, we can always look at, availability.
I got you.
and the issue, so.
So, motion to amend the town hall meeting from May to April. I get a vote for that, or a motion?
A motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, so April is gonna be the time.
Okay.
Hillcrest is gonna be tentatively the place to do it, and Robert's gonna be checking on the bill.
Thank you. My bad on the
No,
misunderstanding.
you're fine. I think Jeremy had a good point. It's good. It's very good. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Thank y'all for that. Appreciate that. All right, I think we can jump into, any other comments about that? You're all good? Good to go?
I know I'm not on the board, but,
Yep.
previously when you were talking about town halls, I think back when Allison was in charge, she was also talking about some sort of a survey. So I don't know if you guys would think that would be useful to go into your other community events just to get ideas, feedback that way, if we want to come up with something.
So you're saying like a paper exit survey that's there for them to take that we then collect, or something that goes out digitally beforehand?
Either way, that's up to you guys. That was just something that Allison had previously mentioned, that might be helpful to kind of gather data either beforehand or after.
Kind of who shows up kind of thing too, or?
Just like kind of to see what kind of questions, kind of start getting ideas what kind of questions people might have.
I got you. We can parlay that into maybe like the community meetings, so.
Yeah.
Meetings we go to, we
Yeah.
present this out, so we, yeah, thank you, Julie, for that, I appreciate that. Just mentioning like kind of a survey, so I guess we kind of brainstorm that too, and we can talk about that in the future agenda items. I think we'll, jump into regional concerns. Jerry, we'll start off with you.
I don't have any regional concerns. I guess I just saw in the news today that like a lot of cars' tires were slashed at a property like right on Biltmore Avenue across from Asheville High School, those condos right there. So, I mean, that just really stinks and is concerning, but yeah, that's the only thing I really have.
Thank you. Jeremy?
Really, it's just a point about reiterating how we need to be able to collect what people are saying, to have sort of a start of an agenda for that town hall meeting, and that being really getting out sooner into meetings, and then just making sure that we capture that somehow. And I think we sort of listed under regional concerns, but I'm wondering if there doesn't need to be a line item for the next 2 months around information we've collected that's just from meetings we've attended. So if we're having the calendar, just something that says, here are some things that I'm hearing, because there might also be some positive things too.
Calling information with the community kind of thing. Nothing on my end. Carl?
For the east side, it's interesting, I think they're finally getting, they're getting to recognize you better lock your car and, don't leave your stuff out, because I've watched Neighborhood. Is that what it is?
Neighborhood Watch?
Neighborhood,
Yeah.
whatever it is on, and they're actually, when people start complaining on there are other people who come back and said, have you done this? Have you paid attention to what you've been told to do or recommended to do? But, stop complaining if you left your car unlocked and then somebody opened the door and took all the stuff out of your car. So I think there is some progress there in terms of people listening.
No reason.
Obviously, I have major concerns since I am a housing authority resident. And as far as Hillcrest is concerned, I plan to, contact, management there to ask them, because they know a lot of times about, residents and their needs and resources that they need, especially for juveniles. women and children, okay, that are affected. And that's gonna open up a whole, whole new, form as far as, helping people who are, just looked past, pretty much is a nice way I can say it, and their needs, and their lives, pretty much. And again, as I've said before, and especially as being the only, female member here tonight, I am very concerned with women's safety in Asheville. And I'll say it every time I'm here, because it definitely needs to be looked at, because, some things that were, I'll just say denied, to make it quick, have actually happened to women in this city. Violence against them. And if nothing is said about it, then it doesn't help us local women, it doesn't help the tourist women, it doesn't help anybody. Okay, because knowledge is power, okay? So I'll just leave it at that and say that that will be one of my, that is my passion.
Yeah, thank you.
One of,
I appreciate
for this.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. Michael, anything you?
Yeah, so it's a couple of things. Some of the, during the killing of, Mr. Eddings, some of the laborers felt that they were being, targeted by some people in the police department, by, because of, I don't know, certain reasons, some for some figured racial reasons, some figured because they, I don't know, they might look suspicious because they're young, black, whatever, so they felt targeted. Another concern is from the parents of, kids in the city schools. There's a high number of children of color that are being, I don't know, targeted by, some people say the officer at the school, and it tends to start this preschool to prison pipeline sooner, because they start thinking that these are the children that are troubled children, when, it could be just something as small as our young people are hungry, they didn't eat the night before, they heard gunshots and couldn't sleep, so they've been traumatized, and then something has been triggered, so they're not even focused on school. So I think us actually, so that's becoming a issue, because they say it's not coming from, it doesn't happen with the teachers, it happens with the officers that are at the school. That's another concern. For me, I think we need to, Brother Robert said it best, we need to be intentional about who we are, what we're gonna do. Because right now the city is hurting. There's a lot of the crime that happens in these different neighborhoods are from people that don't live in these residences, and they're causing trouble. So, but it's still just, when those crime review, those reports go up, and it shows, what happened in Hillcrest, it doesn't state that they didn't live there. When something happens in D-Review and it's some crime, it doesn't state that they didn't live there. So, those are the concerns, not just, my concerns, but these are the concerns of the people.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that. So we have any public comment? Anyone? Good, everyone's good, public comment? Yeah, that was short. Sure.
In the outreach to the communities, is it the board's intent to collect information about their concerns about crime, their concerns about how policing is being conducted to address that crime, or both? And if it's the latter, is it taking into consideration the systemic factors that give rise to the criminal activity?
To be honest with you, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think we still need to discuss that as far as what we're trying to collect, but that's a good point. I just, at this point, don't know, to be honest with you. My thing would be anything, just top of my head, anything related to police that people have issues about, to be honest with you. I thought it'd be pretty broad stroke, is what I was thinking. Anything as far as systems given to the police in general, is my thinking. So we can kind of follow that to the sixth part of our agenda, is the follow-up and future agenda items. So the things we kind of need to focus on now. So we focus on the community meeting in April, at side of things, of getting those, so get those meetings and all this stuff you want to Jerry, so we can kind of put that on the board and we can get out to the community in those groups and kind of tell the citizens that way. But we also need more outreach as well, as Jeremy was saying too. So I think the key now for town hall meetings is really get the word out about that is key. And I plan on the future agenda items as well. I plan to meet with the police about the mediation side of things over the next couple of weeks with the chief and IA and Chief Captain Gudak as well. So I plan on doing that. Is there anything I'm missing, y'all, as far as future agenda items that I'm missing or anything like that we need to think about? Or any follow-up or anything like that?
Also for number 6,
Yes.
some of the complaints during the retreat was that there's not always follow-up on public comment, stuff like that, and you can't always, respond right away. But at least when people share their ideas, you can say, okay, hey, you know, can you guys look into this or something, and maybe get back to that person, just so you feel a sense of follow-up on it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think that's pretty good on that things. Any other comments or concerns, y'all, about anything? Feel pretty good? I think we have a pretty good lay of the land right now. Yeah,
Sure.
Matt?
With the, moving forward, the community meeting, if we could also add something to it when we do advertising, that we would like, you know, form partnerships, solutions, things along those lines. I mean, by all means, we want to hear the bad stuff, like to hear the good stuff also. But then, you know, what are some suggestions coming from the community, ways to improve? You know, because I know crime's going to come up. We all in the room also know that a lot of times the information that in order to solve crime, we've got to have the information sharing. And with that, we've got to build the trust in the community that that information is shared more freely with us. And I think that's going to be key as we do take this on the road, is that we be very diligent in getting that out, that we as an agency want to protect and serve all the citizens of Asheville. And with that, we need to have that partnership, so when something does tragic happen in the community, that we do have people that do wish to share information and help us as we go through the steps in order to make a charge that will stick and the person can get convicted in the court system.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate that.
I do have,
Yeah, Carl.
one question. Since you're gonna be talking about mediation with the chief, I'm just curious where the city's mediation center comes into this, because you guys, they fund the mediation center for the city, which has several people in their staff. And what is their role in all of this?
That's a good point. Do you have their contact information, Carl?
I can get it. I can get it
I'm
and
happy
send
to
it
reach
to
out.
you.
If you can send it to me, I'm happy
Yeah.
to reach out.
I'll find out who
It's a great
who
resource.
to talk to, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Carl.
Okay.
I appreciate that. And I'll send an email about HRCA